At the Goodmanson Sandhills Lab Open House, Matt Stockton is our guest, talking about decisions, and this drought is forcing people to make a lot of decisions or not make a lot of decisions. What are you recommending to producers on how to go about the decision-making process?
Well, you know, it's a stressful time in a business, like any time, and there's basically two kinds of decisions that can happen. Those that you have to make and forced to make instantly, and those that perhaps you have some time and you can see things coming down the road. Those that you can see coming down the road, generally you can make better decisions because you have time to think about it, consider a lot of different alternatives, and choose among alternatives. Those decisions that you have to make or are forced to make or in a bad situation, generally you just have to do what you have to do and you don't count the costs, and so in some cases that could cost you your business. So you want to really try to anticipate making decisions in a period of drought. You want to make it calmly, and you want to evaluate as many options as you can in an appropriate way. So in other words, if you're going to buy feed, okay, what's the feed going to cost me? How long have I got to feed it? And what's the outcome, what I'm going to sell the cattle for? So in other words, if you find out you're going to lose $400,000 and you only got $300,000, you're kind of in a bad way. So you have to really, consider that. So we suggest that people make smaller decisions early as well.
As we are right now, as we're already into the drought by a few months, are there still decisions to be made, or are those limited?
Oh, well, no, of course, they're more limited than they were 3 months ago. But there's still a lot of, the drought is only, we're only halfway through, well, we're more than halfway, but we still have grazing season time left. There's still decisions to be made. Obviously not as many options as you had a while back, and obviously the longer you wait, the less your options are going to become, especially if your finances are limiting or whatever.
Talk to me about your research you're doing here at the Goodmanson Ranch with calving in fall, spring, and summer.
Well, there's been an ongoing research project, and it's called systems research, and this is where we take economics as well as the production and put it all together. Now, systems research isn't just like, in other words, in many research projects, what they do is they do one thing to the animals and then they measure the impact of that one thing. Well, what systems research does is you do that one thing. It's not just the impact of the animals, but it's the impact of their offspring and how they go to market and all the different things. So it's over a period of time. And so that's kind of the research we're doing here on those systems. So what we're trying to say is, if I calve in the springtime or early spring, what are the things that affect that, and what things would be most beneficial if I use that system? If I use the later spring or the summer, what they call the summer calving system, what affects that, and how does that work? And then what I do with the fall. And then ultimately you'll be able to compare the different systems together. And
you do what with that then? Then you run the numbers and crunch and find out where they should be if they go to here in the end?
Well, what we've done is we've taken all those numbers, taken 10 years of market information, simulated those, so in other words, use those prices and those costs for those years, given the production from the 4 years of the study that we have, and we put that together into a model so that we can determine, okay, so if this is what I do, how does that affect my net returns or my profit?
Matt Stockton, our guest. Matt, thanks for the time.
You're welcome.